As we learned earlier in the video series, Google AdSense decides which actual advertisements will appear on our website. That being said, we still need to decide how many ads we will display, where they will be displayed, and what size the advertisements will be. To do this, we need to create what are called ad units. We will then place the ad units on our site where we would like the ads to appear. Google will then automatically place the actual advertisements in those ad units based on the bids submitted by advertisers. Publishers can create an individual ad unit for a specific page on their site, general ad units that will be displayed on multiple web pages, or a mix of both. To make things easier to manage, it's probably best to create general ad units that can fit either within the header, body, or sidebar of your site so that ads will automatically show up without you having to create another ad unit every time you publish a new article or blog post. Placing the ad units within your website will take some web design knowledge. If you have a web designer or developer, you may need to get them involved in the process of placing ad units within the code of your website. We will, however, cover a basic example of this process later on in this chapter of the course. Get ready for the next video where we actually create our first ad unit. In this video, we'll create our first ad unit within AdSense. Remember, ad units are the blocks of space that we will place within our website to begin displaying advertisements. To create an ad unit in AdSense, we need to navigate to the My Ads section of AdSense. From here, make sure you're in the Content and Ad Units section on the left side of your screen. Towards the top, you'll see a button that says New Ad Unit. Go ahead and click on this button to begin the ad unit creation process. When creating a new ad unit, the first piece of information that we need to decide upon is what the ad unit will be called. It's a good idea to give your ad unit a descriptive name so that you'll remember which unit goes where on your website. For example, we'll create an ad unit to be placed at the very top of our page as a banner ad. With that being said, we can call this ad unit Top Banner Leaderboard. In the Ad Size section, you'll notice that there are a number of options for you to choose from regarding the size of your ad unit. The different sizes are based on pixels on a screen. This is the standard way of measuring advertisements on the internet. It's also important to note that Google has placed some recommended sizes at the beginning of this section, and these sizes are the ones that perform the best in terms of generating revenue. So if one of these sizes works for you, it's a good idea to use it. If you want to see additional sizes, you can click on the drop down next to Showing, choose the type of ad unit that you'd like to create, and you'll see additional sizes that you can choose from. Because we're creating a leaderboard in this example, we'll choose the 728 by 90 leaderboard, the standard leaderboard ad size. In the Ad Type section, we have the option of only displaying text ads, only displaying display ads, or displaying both text and display ads within this ad unit. There may be certain situations where you would only want text or only want display ads to be shown, but remember, advertisers will be bidding for their ad to be shown in this slot, and the more options you allow, the higher bid price you will receive. In other words, if you're looking to generate the most revenue possible from a particular ad unit, it's a good idea to allow both text and display ads to be served. The matched content option is a new option by AdSense that allows you to display links to other articles within your website. The articles that are shown will be automatically generated by AdSense, but you're not going to earn any revenue from these ads. These are internal ads that will just lead to another page on your site, and hopefully it will increase your overall revenue because you might have advertisements within those different articles. But remember, you're not going to earn revenue from an ad unit that is displaying matched content. For this example, we will choose text and display ads. The text ad style section is where you can choose a text ad style to be displayed on your site. This section will really only be relevant for when text ads are displayed because it will determine the color scheme that the text ads will be displayed with. For display ads, which are images designed by the advertiser, the color scheme won't come into play because the ad's completely designed by the advertiser and will most likely feature a color scheme that's consistent with the advertiser's brand. There are a number of default styles provided by Google for you to choose from. Alternatively, you can select one of the default styles and then click on the Copy and Edit button. This will allow you to customize all of the styles details that are shown in this ad unit. So you can specify the border color, the background color, and a number of other different options. If you decided to customize your own style, when you're ready, go ahead and give the style a name and then click Save. For now, I'm just going to choose the default style. The Custom Channels section is something that we're going to look at later on in the course, but it basically allows you to track statistics of this ad unit a little better so that you can determine which ad units are performing best on your website. The Backup Ad section is used to specify what should be shown in your ad unit if there are no advertisers bidding for the spot. Generally speaking, showing a blank space is probably the best option, but you could also design your own internal ad, upload it to your website, and use the URL of that ad to be shown when nothing else is available. If you're unsure what to do in this section, just leave it as show blank space. Once you've finished configuring the options for your ad unit, click on the Save and Get Code button to see the HTML code that we need to copy into our website in order for advertisements to begin being displayed. Stay tuned for the next video where we will present a basic example of how to place the ad unit code into your website. In the previous video, we created our first ad unit, and now in this video, we need to place the code from that ad unit into our website for advertisements to begin showing up. When we clicked on the Save and Get Code button, this pop-up box appeared with the code that we need to add to our website. You'll notice that in this box, we have two different options for the code type, either asynchronous or synchronous. This means that the Google AdSense code won't get in the way of the other content loading on your website, so you're going to have faster page load times. If you need to use synchronous code, you would probably know that, so when in doubt, just choose asynchronous. Now we need to copy this code to our clipboard, so I'm just going to click in the Add Code box to highlight all of the code. Now I'm going to right-click and choose Copy. Once you have the code copied, you need to move over to your website's back end, where all of the code is written. This will obviously look different depending on the content management system that you're using to develop your site. For this example, we're using a WordPress website, and we want this leaderboard to appear in the header of our website. So I'm going to move over to another tab here where I have the website open. So here's the website that I'm going to add the leaderboard to, and I want the leaderboard to go right up here at the top above this header where it says Wisdom Pet Medicine. So a little trick that I like to use to identify exactly where I need to insert this code into my website is when using Google Chrome, you can right-click on the page and click Inspect. When I do that, a box appears on the right side of my screen that shows me all of the code behind my website. Now I want to find a particular part of this code, so I'm going to click on this button at the top left of the box with the arrow icon, and now I can move over to my website and I can select certain elements of the website. So I'm going to select this header up here at the top, and when I do that, it shows me where in the code this header is located. So I can highlight over the code and it'll show me different parts. I know that this header right here is this whole part of my website, and I also have this other header, but this isn't an actual div. This is just a location within my site. So I want my leaderboard to go underneath this header area, but before this first div. So when I go into the back end of WordPress, this is what I'm going to look for. So now I'm going to move over to my WordPress dashboard, and I'm going to go to the left side of the screen and hover over Appearance, and then click on Editor. Now I want to mention that you want to be very, very careful when editing your website's code, especially here in WordPress, because you can actually break your website, and if you don't know exactly what you're doing, you definitely want to access your web files via FTP, download the web files, and edit the code on your local computer before you actually upload it to your web server so that you can check and make sure that you've edited it correctly. And if you have a web developer, this is where you're going to want to get them involved. This should be pretty simple for them to do. So all they're going to need to do is copy this AdSense code into the website. But this is a pretty simple process because we're just copying a couple lines of code. So I'm going to go ahead and do it here in WordPress. So in order to access my header, which is where I want to place this leaderboard, I'm going to go over to the right side and I'm going to click on the header.php file. As you can see, WordPress also says that editing this code is highly discouraged and that you should proceed with caution. But I understand that and I'm going to proceed. So now I can see all of my header code, and we established a few minutes ago that I need to place this code below the masthead but above the first div. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to press Command F on a Mac computer or Control F on a Windows computer, and I'm actually just going to search for masthead because I know that that's right around the area where I want to put my AdSense code. So you can see here's the header that says masthead, and I want to put it just below this line of code but above the header div. So I'm just going to hit return, and now I'm going to paste the code that I copied from AdSense here into WordPress. So here's the AdSense code. And when I'm ready, but again, you want to make sure that you are absolutely ready. Make sure that you didn't cut off some of this header and that you didn't cut off some of the div down here either. I'm pretty sure I didn't. So now I'm going to click on Update File at the bottom of this page. So I've now added the AdSense code into my website. So let's go back to the front end of the website. We can close out the inspector, and let's refresh the page. So now you can see we have an advertisement up here at the top of our page already on our website. It's that simple. When you first begin to place ad units within your website, it may take a little while for Google to decide which ads fit best on your site, and therefore ads may not start showing up immediately, but should start being displayed within 24 hours. Stay tuned for the next chapter in the series where we will go over some advanced placement strategies for placing ad units on your website.